Hello, welcome all of you to this new session. In this session, because we are through with the lookup analysis, now the next step we're going to real thing what we call data analysis. Alright, so what is the first step in data analysis? First step is in data analysis is when you get a raw data, you should be able to summarize it, make it concise, make it precise, and convert the data into what we call is information. That is what we do. From information, then you can take it to the visualization. We'll deal with the visualization later. So that is the primary track. We will to summarize it so that the data give us some information that we require. And to do these things, we have a beautiful tool in Excel. We call it the pivot table. You can also call it a summary table. It's an interactive table. That means by interacting means you can keep asking it questions and it will keep asking you, giving you the answers. It's very dynamic kind of tool that we have. Primary purpose is reporting. So when a data is thrown to us and some questions are asked, even some questions were not asked, but we need to interpret something, find out of the data what is data is talking about, because data speaks. Data has lot of information. Data tells stories. Data tells everything. The corporate is dying to understand what this data can tell them. So in that scenario comes what I call the pivot table, a beautiful, beautiful tool. So let us introduce ourselves to the pivot table first. Let us understand all the, what we call components of a basic components of a pivot table. Then you can go into some real-time exercises in later on to understand how we really apply this tool in real-time scenarios. So let us assume I have this data. I kept a small data. It's not a great data, but still it's a data about sales. Now see this actually, by if you simply look at this particular data, it's no information. You'll have to do something with this data. You can do filtering, you can do sorting, then you can use sum functions, sum if functions, conditional functions, lookups, and many things you do. Then you get some information, and that will take a lot of your time. Now suppose I want to know only the total sales of the apples, total sales of the fruits, how much is sold in USA. All right, what is the maximum revenue each product has given? A lot of question can be asked, right? Now, if this data is given in normal condition, it will take time. We will find the information all right, whatever questions are asked, but it will take time, believe me. So instead of going through a conventional process of analysis, whenever I know I have to analyze the data and I'll have to extract not a data, the specific element in this point of time. When you extract a specific element, we use the lookup analysis, but here we need to extract some summarized information. By summarized means the total sale of the apples. That's a summary of the whole sale of the apples. Apples might have been sold 25 times, right? But I want a summary ki total revenue generated. That's the summary information I can extract. All right. So without wasting time, let's straight go to the business. Now see, one important aspect is that you do not want a blank row in between. That is first thing you will notice, and you have seen we can also remove these black cells if at all there. By blank cell, I am meaning the whole row. This whole row, if it is blank, then when I invoke the pivot table, it will accept this one also, or I'll have to select everything. Right, so it's preferable I should not have any blank rows, and there are ways of relieving whole blank rows. See, if few data are there, that is okay. Suppose only this data is missing, that's absolutely not an issue for us, but whole row should not be the blank. So if whole row is blank or it is not blank, but I am dealing with a very huge data, So going into everything and then deleting these rows and etc. make time. Otherwise, I better I select it. All right. Now, and if I keep the blink cross, it may not give me the exact information that I need. Number of rows are increasing. Things may be so. It's important that I remove the rows and I keep a very clean exact data. So best way to do it in Microsoft Excel, the advanced version that we have, you can go to home, you can go to find and select, you can go to spatial, you choose the blank. It will automatically highlight all the blank rows. Once it is done, again you go to home. See, there is a segment for the cells. You go to the delete sheet rows. It will automatically delete all the blank rows. You can be damn sure about it. You need not check it even. All right, once it is done, I can click anywhere in the range. I go to the insert at the top, you see, and there at the left lying is a pivot table. You click on the pivot table, this particular dialog box will appear. It has automatically selected your whole range. You need not bother about it. Now there are various options it is throwing to us. Use an external data source. Right now it is not required. It is primarily we use when we extract data from various sources for the analysis. At the bottom they are saying add this data to the data model. Right now we are not doing it. By data model, when the different tables are there, we need to integrate. Without integrating those tables, we need to extract information. We use the data model. You can think in terms of if you want to draw a similarity, you can consider the referential integrity that we do in structured query language. All right. So here the main option that you should look for, choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. So whatever I extract, we call it the pivot table report. That is the standard practice. You can open a new worksheet or you can go do it in the existing worksheet by choosing a cell. So I prefer a new worksheet. So I click on the new worksheet. Now I click OK. You see, a new worksheet has come. It has given the name as sheet 1. You can change it to another name. I do it analysis. Now this particular area is called your pivot table, and this is called the pivot field. Field list. Field list means you see now you got your fields: order ID, product, category, amount, date, category. Now what are these? These are nothing but your column headings that you have, because this represents one field, this represents one field, this represents one field, this represents one field, like that. So how many columns you have will decide how many fields you have. Now this is the pivot table field we are talking about. So all the fields will be listed here, whatever they are in the data. Now there are four fields we have. One we call the column, one we call the row, and one we call the value. This is actually where our playground is. Now what exactly we do? Now we want a summarized data, right? So I maybe want a summarized data of the product. Now what I can do, I can simply drag the product to the rows. So it will give me a vertical list of all the products that I am having. And now if I take it to the column, it will give me an horizontal list. If I am doing it a one-dimensional thing. Okay, so I bring the product in the rows. It gives me the vertical range of the products. In this particular area, the value comes. Any numerical value you want to showcase, because data without numerical value in this particular thing may not have any meaning. So I bring in the numerical value amount here. Now see what it has given us. It has given us summary. Summary is sum of the amount. Apple total sale is this much. Banana total sale is this much. Beans total sale is this much. Okay. So I got a summary of the data. So this is one dimension. Now see, I can also take this product in the columns. This will give me the same information, but this is giving in a horizontal way. So absolutely it is understanding and logging which one looks better, because eventually it's report writing. So I bring the product in the rows and this looks better. So whichever looks better you should choose for. Alright. Now see, before moving in further, let us look at certain uh, what we say is certain editing part of it and certain issues that we encounter whenever we do it. Now see, this is the space where the table will showcase and it will keep expanding as you bring in more things here. But once you kick outside, this field list is gone. When you click inside, again the field list will appear at the left. At the top, you get two contextual tabs. One is called the pivot table analysis, another one is called the design. This will help us a lot. Now, what happens if by mistake or many a times, because we don't need this anymore, many a times we have done the analysis, because whenever we are clicking inside, it is popping up. Maybe a distraction, we can simply close it. So once we close it, the once you clock inside, the tabs will appear at the top, but the fill list will not appear. Now, what happens if I need it back? By clicking inside, it is not coming anymore, because I have closed it. So, for that, I need this tab. I go to the pivot table design. At the left, you see at the top there is a fill list. You click on the fill list, your fill list is back. Alright, now this is something the data it is giving, but I want to make an appropriate representation of the data. This is showing row level, not looking nice. This is sum of amount, not looking nice. This has got no formatting, not looking nice. So what I can do, if I am taking it to the report, the standard practice is I select inside, I go to the design, and I prefer to choose the show in tabular form. Now it has given the product. That means, see, now if I move it, suppose I want to see a country wise sale. I bring in the country coming, country wise sales you are getting. You remove it, you bring a category, you can see a category wise sale. And the heading is changing accordingly. So tabular form gives this, but this heading is not changing at all. So I come to the product here again. Now this is sum of amount, not very looking nice. I want to say it is revenue. So you come at the bottom of here, there is a down arrow you see. You come to the value fill list. In the dialog box, that is the custom name you have. It is written sum of amount. So whatever is written here will be viewed here. So I simply come here and change it to revenue. Only thing that I have to take into consideration, whatever name I give here should not have a conflict with the names here. So if I write an amount here, it will be conflict because already I have a failure amount, it will not accept it. So any name that I give should not have a match in the field list. That's what only I have to consider when I'm renaming the column header. I click OK, it has become revenue. It is looking a much better data. But still the formatting is needed because it is currency we are talking about. So I again click inside, I come to the revenue again. Now it has changed itself to revenue again. I click here again, I go to the view fill list. Then there is a number format. And I go to the currency, and whichever currency I like to choose, I can choose any currency that I need, and it will show the currency. So now that's a better representation of the data. Alright, now what we can do with this data? We can do with this data is that we can filter it to a specific. Now if I need only information of the apple, because once I bring the product here, all the products will appear here. Now specifically if I need apple, we already know what filtering is. So I can simply click here and filter it out. So I choose apple, apple appears here. Alright, now only apple appears here. Now if I ask me, then having a grand total makes no sense. If 2 or 3 data, then you can have data, then you can have grand total, that's good. So how we can remove this grand total? That is also our choice. I click inside, I come to the design. See, there is a grand total option. You can simply off rows for columns. Now this is giving you a precise data. Anytime you can on it. You see, you can go, you can explore the options that you have. You can on for rows only because only single row, so it is not coming. On for columns only, it will come at the bottom. Or if you wish, whenever needed, you can switch it off. And when you want to revive all the data, You select all, you get everything. Okay. Next, whenever I bring in anything here, suppose I bring the country here and the revenue will stay here. By default, they brings the sum. I can change these calculations. Okay, so what I was saying is I can change the summary. So change the summary again. I come here. I come to the value field list. I can change it to average. Now it is showing the average sale. You know, I can come here, value field setting. I can change to minimum. So now if you don't need the formatting part of it, all right. So there is a shortcut of changing the summary. You simply right click here. You can do the summary value. You can change it to average. Product will multiply all the products, so that's why you don't need. You can summary value. You can change it to maximum, change it to minimum. Everything you can change. So that summary value is absolutely changing. This is showing the maximum sale that has happened each country wise. Also, we can represent them. Let me bring in the here because multiple values if we have, it's important to have a grand. We also represent them in a percentage form, and that's very interesting, right? Because percentage actually removes lot of uncertainty. So I can go here the show value as percentage of the grand total. It will show percentage of the grand total, right? I right click here because this is showing the maximum value, that's why you giving the arrow. So whenever I am supposed to choose the percentage, it should be sum. So now how to remove the percentage? I come to the show value as no calculation, it has come back to the maximum. Now I change it to, again I right click, I change it to summary value, I change it to sum. When you have the sum, then you will have to have the percentage. Now you right click, show value as percentage of the grand total. Now it is giving you the percentage of the grand total. Lot of information. Okay, so we talked about one dimensional data. We can have a two dimensional pivoting also, right? So let me remove the percentage, so no calculations here. Now you see, okay, I brought one field into the row level, so they are showing the row level. I can build another field into the column level. It gives me a two dimensional. All right. So two dimensions you are having now. Now here you say you are having a grand total of the columns. That means total sale of apple is known, total sale of banana is known, beans is known. If you want to also see the total sale in Australia, so everything can be viewed here. You go to the design, you go to the grand total on for rows and columns. Now you can see rows and columns here. You can see product wise total sale. You can see country wise total sale, and this is the total sale. Now, if you want to drill down to specific data, suppose the question asked, show me the detail. Okay, first they ask me, show me only a sale of apple in Australia. So I know I can do the filtering here. I choose Australia here only. I can filter here. I can choose apple only. So they gave me, I can remove the grand total now because for single value, grand total will not be preferred. Now this is the Australia, this is the total application. Now if I want the detail, this is the summary that I am having. I want the detailed view of this particular sale in the product. This is called drill down the data. You double click here, it will give you the detailed summary of that particular thing. These are the times that Apple sold in Australia. Now if you add them up, because it's a table by default, you click here. If you make a total here, sum, it is coming 20643, that is exactly showing. You can always drill down the data. Any data that you want to drill down, you can simply double click on that summary value. That will give the detail of that particular summary. So these are all summary values. Please understand. Everywhere I go, these are the summary values. Sum of amount, sum of amount. So if you want to detail, you simply double click any here, and that for specific combination, it will show you the detail analysis, right? So that is the advantage we are having. So lot of advantage we are having. Now this is the two dimensions we have already used. We have used the country as a we took them into the rows. We have to product we took them. Now if I want to look product country wise, okay, but also I want to see category wise, because some products are falling in the category of fruits, some products are falling in the category of what we say vegetables. So we are looking for a third dimension, but we have only rows and columns option. But fortunately we have this filter area. This is called page fill. You can create separate pages, one page, same analysis, one page for the fruits and one page for the vegetables. To do that, you bring in the category in the filter. So at the top, it is giving the total view. Now you click here, select for multiple rows. You select only for vegetables. Now it is showing you the vegetable sales. You see? Now here you click here, you only show for the fruits, not for the vegetable. It is showing for the fruits. And again, you can do further filtering to it. And if you want to see everything, you click on all, everything is fine. So this is the third dimension we can always bring in. We call the page field, because we consider we have created two pages right here, because there are two options there. So one page, second page. All right. Now, before moving on, let us look at another very important aspect of it. Right. So I remove rows. So I have this data. Now what has happened? I go to the pivot table again. I have already done the analysis. Now I add maybe some new data has been introduced. Maybe mango we are selling. All right. Mango comes in the area of fruits. Any data I can take that is immaterial. And these two countries I might have sold the mango. So data has been updated now. All right. Now I come to the analysis. There is the option of refreshing the data. I come to the pivot design and I refresh the data. Nothing is right. Nothing has. So you see the mango has appeared once you refresh. All right. So to be absolutely sure about these things, what we need to do is normally it may not, but preferably what we should do, we should convert this data into a table. Once we convert this data into a table, then I am absolutely sure that whenever I update the things, it will be updated there also. All right. So I can go to the analysis. I delete the analysis again. I do it. So it's always advisable. So I first convert the table into a data into a table. Then I go to the insert. Then I go for the pivot analysis. Nothing changes as such. All right. But it makes you absolutely sure that you simply need to refresh it, and the extra data that you have added will be automatically added to the thing. Now this particular view is called the modern view. You also have another view of this pivot table, and we may prefer that one to use instead of this one. This is only viewing purposes and your usage purposes. You can right click here. All right, you go to the pivot table options, you go to the display, you choose the classical version of it. So the classical version comes. Here the only advantage that you have, you can directly bring in the product here and drop it, directly bring the amount here, drop it, you get the analysis. Things are coming there also. So to remove there, you can remove this. So this is another option you have to work on with the pivot table. So I am just switching off the classical mode. I am coming to the original mode. All right. Now next we call the multi-level pivoting. So you have a heading, you have a subheading. See, product comes under category. It's almost like states come under country, city comes under the state. So whenever this kind of segregated data we have, in this case we have. We have categories, then also we have the products. So some products come under some category and some products are coming under some categories, right? So here if I choose only vegetables, these are the vegetables I'm having. If I choose only the fruits, these are the fruits I'm having in the original data I'm talking about, right? So we do have categories. To show categories differently and precisely in a single array, I first bring category here. The category comes, I bring the amount here. Amount comes. Now below the category, I bring in the product. Now this is a multi-level. You have fruits, summary of the fruits, grand total of the fruits. Then you have the vegetables. You can actually close them and look them only a category like, or also you can click here. You can expand them to a better one. Also, you can change the subtotals. You go to the design. Now that is the subtotal option you have. You can do not show subtotal, so it is without subtotal. You go to the design option. You know these things you can practice and understand. These are simple things. Show all subtotal at the bottom of the group. The subtotal will come at the bottom of the group. So we can do row wise multi-leveling, but also we can do column wise multi-leveling, and when that is required. Now suppose I am happy with this. I shown you apple and I show you the amount. I can change the formatting. I'm not doing it again. You can change this formatting. Now my boss also wants, okay. So I showed him this. I took the data like this, percentage of the grand total. He's happy. But he says, no, I want the original figure also and the percentage also. Side by side. So you want multiple columns, right? So if that is the need, this is the table already I'm having. I bring in the amount and put it at the bottom of the amount again. I get another sum of amount too. Now the advantage is that I can change it to percentage of grand total. Now you are getting both the views, the total sum of the sales, the percentage of the sales. Same way you can bring it again here, right? I got the third one. You can choose summary value as the average. Now see, it is giving a beautiful. Now here you can change the formatting, of course. Okay. Uh, you can change the formatting here. So basically, you are now formatting how to change for the third one. You will have to go to the third one, go to the view settle, you go to the number format, number, two decimals, looking better. So these things I'll have to do. I'll have to change it to currency. These things you will now do, you can do. But we are getting all the view, right? So we are getting some of the product, we are getting percentage of these things, and this headings also needs to be changed. So we are getting three different perspectives of the same data: the total sale, the percentage sale, with respect to the grand total, and the average sale of each product. I can get maximum, I can get minimum, I can get maximum. All right, so these are the fundamental things we are talking about. So let me conclude everything with an exercise, a short exercise we'll do, and with this exercise we'll try to conclude what we are doing. So now see, this is the particular data they have given us, and they say do the following: find out amount region wise, how much payments received through PayPal, what is the average sale through the web, how many products sold online, average sale through web paid by credit card. We'll take them one by one. So again, I click here, I go to the insert, I go to the pivot table. So a new sheet has been created. I give it a name as query 1. Now, what is the first question? Let me see. The first question is this: find out the amount region wise. So I just for our understanding, you need not paste it. I am generating reports manually. So region wise. So I know it's easy peasy. I have the region. I bring the region and I bring the amount. Here I got it. But I won't represent it like this. What I will do, I'll go here in the amount. I go to the value field setting, number format. I will change it to the currency, any currency, no matter of fact, which is the hour of the currency. Then I change this thing to a report filter, tabular form. Then I change the name in the value field setting. I say it's the revenue. Okay. Now, what if I want the second one, that is how much payment received through PayPal? All right. How much payment is received through PayPal? That is the second question I have. And I want to put the query below it because these are the small queries. I really do not want to take it to the animation. So you can do it in two ways. You can go to that particular data. I'll show both the ways. Uh, you can go here, you can insert, you can select the pivot table. Now instead of choosing a new worksheet, you choose an existing worksheet. Now you click here, you come to the Q1 and then choose this particular area and click OK. This particular thing will come in. This is one way of doing it, right? And I will show the another much simpler way of doing it. So how much payment received through PayPal? So I know I will have to bring payment here. This is another query in the same set. And so your credit card and PayPal has come and you bring in the amount. Now because I went to the, okay, now basically I need only for the PayPal. So I filter it out. I only choose PayPal. I will leave the, now here I'll have to do the formatting again because I invoked it from the source. So I select it, design, go to the tabular, go to the tabular form, sum of amount, value setting, I change it to revenue, alright, and number format I change it to currency. So this stuff I'll have to do it again. And actually I don't need the grand total because for a single value grand total doesn't look nice. I simply remove the off and on column. So second query is done. Now because I am clicking outside it's gone, clicking inside is gone, it is creating disturbance. I close it. Here I come. Now here I come. Now see the third option for the third question I'm talking about. Third question is what is the average sale through web? So I come to this question. Now instead of going to the table then choosing the next sheet, what I can do, I can simply copy this one and paste this one. This will be an exactly new query. Now when I'm clicking that particular field is not appearing, I need not worry. I go and choose the field list, it has come. Now they're asking average sale through web. So that is basically they are talking about the source here. So I bring in the source. Both now see there is a source, there is the revenue, the formatting is in currency. I need not go for the formattings again. Only I need web here. So I deselect it, I get the web, and of course I go to the design, grand total, I switch it up. Alright, then I can actually close it. So see, find out amount in the region, you get the data. How much payment received through PayPal, you got the data. What is the average sale through, you got the data. So we are basically handling queries. Now let us go to the next one. How many products sold online? If that is the query, how many products sold online? So I went there. Again, how many products sold online? Again, I copy it. I paste it here. I invoke the field list. Now they are saying how many products sold online. That means I am talking about the products. So I bring in the product. It is coming book, online, offline. I know what am I supposed to do. First I remove the grand total because only one value will be there. Then I only take what I say is the book. I deselect, I get the online. But remember that I need the average. So I right click here. Summary value, I put it into average. Alright. Now again I can minus it. Now I can again the final query that I have, average sale through wave paid by credit card. Okay, I bring it here again. In the query I paste it just for my understanding. Now I copy it. I bring it here. Alright. I invoke the field list again. Now I can do my queries. So they are asking average sale through web. So web means it will come I think by source. Okay, the web has come, and paid by credit card, that is payment. Now you have two dimensions. So second dimension will bring it. Alright, you will have to. Okay, here they said how many products. I'm so sorry. Here they said the average sale of the product. So you will convert it into average. here actually they have not asked for the average, how many, they ask for the numbers. So when they ask for the numbers, you have to right click here, you come to the summary value, you change it to the count. And once you have changed it to the count, you'll have to change the formatting because count cannot be currency. So go here, number format, you put it in the number, and you really in the number counting, you don't need that decision. So this gives you the number. Alright, now here the final one, average saved through the web pay by credit card, I got it. Now here I choose the web, and here I choose the credit card. This is giving me detail, but also unnecessarily giving me the grand totals. For a single value, I don't need the grand totals. So I go to the design, I go to the grand total, I off grand total, all my queries are done, and I should remove this one now, so that when they see the data, I click there, there is no disturbance. So basically, in split of seconds, I have given you all the information that is there. So there, here we are concluding this particular session. This is just the beginning, and in coming sessions we'll see what we mean by visualization, how graphics can be inserted, how more meaningful we can make the data. Thank you very much. All right, before I finish today's session, another important topic remains to be discussed. So let us finish off that particular topic here. That is called the calculated field. Now what happens if I have these fields here, that is primarily based on the fields that I have here, but I need something new. Suppose I want to give them 10% commission, or maybe my profit margin is considered is 10% of what I sell, and I want to show the profit margin in the data itself. But there is no calculation of the profit here. Alright, so I am not, I mean, even if I am not supposed to change the original data at all, what can I do? I can actually calculate the profit here itself and then create an entirely new field, which is not in the original data. So that I can create a field based on calculation is called the calculated field. So how to do it? I click here inside. I'll go to the pivot table analysis again. In the pivot table analysis, you see there is the called the field item and sets option is there. You click there, you find the calculated field. So this particular dialog box appears in front of you. Now here you can give the name. So suppose I give the name as profit, right? And here I remove the zero, I do the calculation. So profit, suppose 10% of the amount, I have to insert the amount field from here. So I click input, I insert. Then I do a simple calculation into 10% as I do in mathematics. I add this field here. So field has been added. Now I click OK. Now see, another field has been created, that is 10% of this one. Now what happens, I want to add another field called commission, where anything more than 10,000 will get 10% commission, and anything less than 10,000 profit will get maybe what we say 5% commission, right? So conditional calculation, we can use all calculations, all our skills of Excel to execute this. I can again go to this pivot analysis, I can go to the field calculated field. Now I say commission here. Alright, now here in the commission, see, I start with the if function. If I insert profit here, I say if profit is more than 10,000, then profit into 10% is the commission, else insert profit into 5% is the commission. I close it. So I've done an if calculation, you edit, the commission has been added, click OK. Now you look at the calculation, because it is less than 5,000, you got 5%, here you got 10%. So this is called calculated field, another addition to the data. So we can calculate, we derive anything, we can do any calculations, we can add two fields, deduct two fields, anything we can do. We'll see it later how we do it. So thank you very much.